All right. Woo! Here we are. It's Wednesday. Let's see. How are things going for you? Shelby wants to know. Well, my name is Kurt, and I am a dad who draws. Shelby, I always want to say I'm a dad who loves to draw, which is true, but it's 6 p.m. Okay, very good. I'm based out of Illinois. Oh, wonderful. Wow, that's not too far. You guys get all that lake snow. Do you guys get a lot of lake snow, or does it blow right through you and head over here to Pennsylvania and Maryland? We'll find out here just in a minute. My son was in the Navy, and he went to the the boot camp there off of Great Lakes. That was pretty good. Okay, enough of this small talk. My name is Kurt, and I am a dad who draws, and this here is our Wednesday Night Live, and I want to welcome everybody. I hope you stick around. I've got some really cool tricks and ideas to share with you, and hopefully you will walk away with something new. You know, a lot of times when I would enter any type of drawing session, I always try and walk away with just something new that I learned. So I think that is, we actually get snow. Cool. Oh, interesting. You always try and walk away with something. And even if it's just a small little detail. So I've got two things I definitely want to show you tonight, and then we will get into the drawing. We had a little fun in that tonight we had I had a little competition, a little vote to see if we were going to draw the female or the male, and the winner by one vote. I think we had an equal 9 votes each, but one got one extra vote. Can you guess who that is? It's the girl. We're drawing the girl. The deciding vote came in the YouTube community page. I had put up a little poll there, and that's what we got. So we'll be drawing her tonight. I'm not going to get rid of the guy, the guy that I like, the painter, and so maybe we'll hit him up a little bit later. A couple things before we get started, and I can start to get this set up. We have in our Facebook group, we have about 820 people. I will have to double check. So I'm running a little competition right now. If you want to guess when we're going to hit 1,000, go ahead and make that comment of when. It's going to be difficult. Oh, no, it's not. Shelby, I'll make it easy for you. I'll make it easy. But if you want to comment of when you think we're going to hit 1,000 members, put in the date and then put it into time. That will be help deciding a factor. Whoever comes closest, I'm going to give them a 2-week membership into the Daily Draw. The Daily Draw is an ongoing everyday class that I do live stream in the morning, and I'll put a link if you would like to join us down in the description, and you can join us. So we cover a little bit of everything, and so far it's working out really well. I'm very happy with the progress that everyone is making. So back to our membership of 1,000. If you do by chance guess it, the closest guesser, you're going to get 2 weeks. 2 weeks in that class, free of charge. I'm giving it away to you. So that should be exciting. A couple things coming up soon. It is, of course, February 16th. I do have a new class that will be starting. Oh, you know, let me turn off the heater. Hold on. All right, I'm back. We do have a new class it's called the Beginner's Workshop. That's going to start on March 1st, and more details are coming up on that. But other than that, I think that just about covers it. Please like, subscribe, and it's always nice to have someone leave a comment. It helps the pushing of the videos to other people. All right, enough of this. enough of me yammering away here. Why don't we get rolling here and get to drawing? How about that? Any comments here? Let's see, I'm always up for a challenge. Oh yeah, you'll get this. You'll definitely get this. All right, let me switch over to our pad here. And okay, I think we are ready to go. Make sure we are live. Yep. Okay. So, all right. So let's go ahead and get rolling here. Will you be doing in evening classes? I know mornings are difficult for me. The live stream, I do it in the morning, but if we get enough people signed up and they all want an evening, I would be more than happy to do it probably both if we get enough people. But that would take, we're going to have to get a lot more people to do it. The beginning workshop, those are pre-recorded classes, all videotaped, and it takes you through all the foundations. I mean, these things are foundational to set you in the right direction. Anyways, you know what? I'm just like staring at the microphone thinking that's the camera. I'm right over here. Okay, let's get started here. So, all right, first thing I want to show you, we're going to be drawing this girl here, what I had posted. But before we do that, let's take a look at this very simple idea. I'm going to, and it's an idea that I call face placement. So let's just say we had 3 heads here. All right, 3 heads. And a lot of times when we draw, our mind will automatically make us center everything. So if I was to put I'm going to add a new layer here. If I was going to put a smiley face in these guys, I might do something like this. Okay, smiley faces in all 3 of those. This is something that when we're drawing a portrait, we want to be super careful of. So let's just say I had a portrait here, and this is going to be a 3/4 view. Just watch this as I do this. I don't want you to draw this per se. And I'm coming in with a 3/4 view. Sometimes we will automatically put that face off center. It happens all the time. So you really have to get that in the right position. So let me show you what happens here. If you just are self-aware of this little trick. Face placement is if you're drawn in head and you want it to be a 3/4 view, watch what I do here. Let's just do a freehand. If I simply just draw the face to the one side of the head, you can actually see it. It looks like he's looking off to the left. Watch this one over here. Now, in this case, I'm just moving these things, but if I move it to the top, you get a sense that he's looking up. So let me show you this in a practical form. So let's this time draw this so you can get a feel for it. Let's just draw 1, 2, 3. And then when you draw the head around it, watch. Let's draw the head of this way over here. Let's draw the head. Let's draw the head down here like this. And then let's draw this one. Where are we? Let's just say he is. Let's do it like this. So as you are coming into, hey, look at that, Russell just showed up. Just watch, you're not drawing. Okay, Russell. Sounds good, my friend. Go get yourself a hot tea or whatever is your beverage of choice tonight. So when you are, you can apply this technique to all kinds of different things. Whenever you're going to draw something that is off center or you need to position it, just ask yourself within the shape that you're drawing, if you want them to be looking to the left, then make sure you really push the face over to the left. If you want him to be looking to his right, push that face over to the right. So this is what I call face placement. All right. All right, next thing. Let's look at this here. Let's keep this as simple as possible. And I think let's talk about this. All right. So let's draw a series of different ovals. And they're ovals until we put a circumference or an eye line around them. And then let's just draw a shape here, almost like a U. And I'm kind of just doing these random. Now, it's sometimes when we're drawing faces, there is a thing that I like to call is looking for the T. And the T is where the eyes will hang down and we'll get a nose here. So this is the T of the face. So in these heads, this little section here is really their jaw, okay? And so in this one, let's make this to where this guy might be looking down. And in this one, let's just say this guy is looking up. This one over here, this guy might be looking this way. And this one over here, he might be looking this way. So what I've done here is I've taken just this basic sense of this T and position it in different things. Russell, I was thinking of when you're doing some of your character design, didn't I think it was, I always get you and Chris mixed up, I think. Anyways, when you do some of your character design, you want to use this technique to like move things around very easily, get them looking in different positions. So with the eye line, we would probably drop some eyes here. Here's his nose. This one up here, we could put it up there. I'm going to add some little bags under his face there. For his nose, we're going to kind of see the underside of his nose. Yep, okay. Over here, this guy, let's just say this guy has some big eyes. And he has a big nose. And then this guy over here, oops. And his nose will be like this. This nose here, let's just label these guys A, B, C, D, so I could refer to them. So in B, let's take a look at this quick idea here. I have a almost a keystone shape. I curve around the top there. This will create the bridge of the nose. This is the third eye, or the gabella. And then in the center here, I'm going to draw the center part of the nose, the nostrils. So there's a little nose for you. Let's look at B here. B, of course, is coming down. And I'm not going to see the inside of his nose, but I could draw something like this. Because I am looking down on top. So what I just did on the bottom there, I'll show you this over here. So we have this, I'm going to do this, and then the nostril, I'm going to come right around like this. Let's look at this. Let's look at C here. All right, C, we're seeing a little bit of a profile. So this little line is when the nose turns inward. Then you're going to get the opening of the nose, and then right here is going to be our wing. Yep, that's C. Let's go ahead and, hey, Z is in the house. It's okay. Glad you made it, Z. Look over here at D. And D, we've got this guy. He's kind of got a turned up nose. So once again, similar to the way that we drew B, let's kind of bring this center down here. And you can almost imagine this. And this wing over here is going to be hiding behind this. There is the gabella. Okay. So you could see how I would quickly add these noses. These guys are a little small, so the noses are a little bit small, but you get the idea of these demonstrations. So this is D, C, B, and A. So simply taking a round shape, then adding an area below it. It could be like a letter U. It could be more square. It could be a letter V. We can create some interesting jaws. So now these are more cartoony characters, but you can see how we can bring this around like this. See that? This guy, since we're looking down on him, oh, you know, I realize this would be far more foreshortened here. There it is. Because we're looking down. His ears would be a little bit higher. Ears might be like this. This guy here, we're going to come down. Ears like this. This guy, we'll put a bottom lip here. Might be able to see that over there. And we're going to give him a unibrow. And just a little bit of hair here. So there are four. We've talked about face placement. We've talked about using the T. And then I've showed you how to place the T in different areas of the head to help give the sense that he might be looking to the right, to the left, up, or down. Any questions on any of that? Yes, you have to pick your nose. That is so true. All right. Okay. All right, we're going to move on. Let's bring up our winner. And even though she won, doesn't mean that we won't draw the other one at some point. So I might just show up one night and like, come on, let's draw. But we'll start with her, okay? Okay, so let's take a look at this. Remember, all the time when we look at the piece, we're going to ask ourselves some questions. Where's the face placement? Okay, this is a 3/4 view. She is looking pretty. She's looking pretty parallel. Her chin, her face isn't looking up, nor is it looking down. It's like looking straight at us. And she's got this hair. So this is going to be a nice piece. So let's go ahead and jump into this and see what we do here. So first thing, let's go ahead and I'm going to make her just a little bit smaller here. Ooh, I forgot to post. You know what? I've got to remember to post this picture so that you guys can have access to it. So somebody remind me in the chat at the very end to do that. Trouble drawing someone whose head is tilted back and laughing. Yes, that can be hard, but Z, that's a good question. So without seeing a reference, okay, if they're tilted back, I'm going to put that eye line back like this. So I am looking at them, okay? And this might be the underside of their jaw. You see that? And then I'm going to probably see the underside of their nose. There's the barrel of their mouth. And then we'll give them a slight smile here. So as you approach something like that, I think it begins with getting the right, are you looking up at them or are you looking down? Okay. If you in the Facebook group post the picture for me, I'll take a look at it and maybe I can do a quick draw of that for you. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and get back to this our girl here. All right, so we're going to start off with a nice circle, an oval, and I've kind of made this elongated just a little bit because of we're looking from this side of her head. This is the side of her skull. So if we were looking at this from the top, usually the sides of a skull are going to be flat. All right. Now, as I'm about to draw my next thing, she is slightly turning away. And let me show you what I mean by that. This first thing we want to do is look for those temples because those are clues. So right away I could see that she is slightly turning her head away from us. There's the letter T that's going to go down the center. But this angle right here tells me that she is definitely looking away from us. So let's go ahead and start to think about putting that in. So I'm going to come all the way down here and get this angle here. All right. Here's the two temples. So there's one and there's one. And this might be too much of an angle, but I kind of like that angle. I'm going to go with it. If I put the T dead center, that's not going to be accurate because she's looking at a 3/4. So I want to move it a little bit to the left side there. So when you put one of these T, if you're looking at the person straight on, you want to make sure the T is straight in. But once they move over, once they turn their head slight tilt, you want to drop that T just off center just a little bit. All right. So we have that angle. Let's get the side of her head here in this angle. And then since this is coming up, it's going to be like this. You see that? Let me show you on her. So if she's going to be like this, here's the top of her ear. We're going to want to have that turning the corner there. Everything that I'm kind of putting here in front of you right now these would be considered all construction, part of construction. Okay, so from this temple going across, let's just come down here and get this. Her jaw is going to come straight down here, and she's going to come around like this. It's going to swing around. And now I could kind of finish up the other side. These are all construction. We want this basic shape that I just drew, you really want to practice. You don't even have to draw it anymore. If you wanted to stop right here, this would be a great place to stop. You really want to practice this over and over. If you get this right, then everything just falls in place. If you get this wrong, then things start looking wonky. And we don't like wonky. Construction is the hardest part. Yes, and it is. It is the foundation, Shelby. It's a foundation for everything. So remember, get that sphere. Let's say the center is over there. There's your side. Find the temple. Drop your T. Right there, there's a corner of your jaw. Come around. And there you go. There is a construction for you right there. You want to practice this. If you get this down, I'm telling you, it all starts, then you can start getting into the details, like all the noses and everything like that. So, all right, let's carry on here. All right, so then let's look at the, go ahead and put in the visor area. The visor area is the part of the skull that comes back and back around. Like that. This is where her nose is going to be, on top of there. I'm squinting now. Actually, her nose is going to be a little bit longer. Yeah. This is all part of making adjustments here. And I'm squinting at my eyes, trying to get a feel there. This is the barrel of her mouth, and the mask curves out, and then she gets into her chin here, and that also curves out. And look at this. When I'm drawing the barrel of the mouth, I am drawing it over the surface. You see that? The chin, again, also this chin is 3/4, so I want to draw it over the surface. I don't want to do this thing where I'm like drawing it in the center, because it's 3/4. All right. Let's continue on here. All right, let's get a position for this eye here. And then this other eye. And when I draw eyes, I always like to get the eyeball. I don't know. It's just easier for me to get those eyeballs pointing in the right direction. Okay. Let's go ahead and start looking at her nose here. So her nose is off center. When I'm drawing the nose, if I was going to look straight at the nose, I've got this keystone shape for the underside. So that's what I'm kind of looking at here, and I'm going to draw lightly. And then the keystone, the gabella up here. How do you go about picking either a sphere or an oval or a wedge or any shape reconstruction? Well, if the head is all right, so Shelby asks a question. How do you go about picking either the sphere or oval or a wedge or any shape for your construction? If you're looking at a side view of the head, it's usually more elongated like this. Okay, as that turns, it's going to be more spherical because you're looking straight on. And if you look straight on, sometimes the head can actually, it's very very square on the side, because as the skull turns, it gets much more narrower. Do you want me to run downstairs and get the skull to show you? Yeah. Okay, I'll be right back. Just a quick minute. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. All right, so look at the skull here. Okay, see how narrow it is if we look at it straight on. But then if I turn it to its side, look how much more back it goes. You see that? So if you're going to draw it from the side, you're going to want to have this longer oval going this way. If you get more square straight on, you can actually go, the sphere, if you're going to draw a sphere, it's going to be almost totally round, but the sides are going to be very straight. And then when you get to the center, well, then you got a problem. No, you don't have a problem. You elongate it. And it's just taking these things that I'm showing you here and just getting accustomed to drawing them that way. All right, buddy. Go back there. All right, let's continue on here. Let's see. So, all right, so at this time now, I'm going to start looking at proportion, and I like to squint my eyes to really get a sense to make sure I'm lining things up. I'm looking at distances. For example, I'm checking like this is important to me right here, from about where the ear is right there. I'm looking at that. I'm looking at the horizontal line. Look at that, ear almost lines up with the top of the lip. This goes right through the eye. So these are the little things that I am taking a look at here as I'm drawing her. It's going to come down here. Okay. And this actually, I've made the head just a little bit too big, but hair will cover the backside there. Okay. Continuing on here. Let's take a close look at her lips. All right, that's better. Okay, let's look at these lips here. So coming from the nose, oops. Coming from the nose, when we're drawing the nose, let's look at the nose like straight on here. Okay, there's our nose looking straight on. You've got these little marks that come underneath, and I don't know what they're called. They're right here. And then these will curve around and they will make the center of the lips. You see that? So I'm going to use that to help me position these lips. So these are going to come down the center here. There's that little mark right there. Okay. And the next thing I'm looking at is the relationship between the corners of her mouth and the center point on those lips. Those marks are what I'm looking. You could also call those things landmarks because they help us to determine where different things are positioned. So I'm going to come around here like this. And I know that, of course, this is going to line up here. And it's going to be right there. And then I'm just going to start to connect dots. All right. Next thing, let's just say that this is, I'm going to draw it large over here so I could show you what's going on. Here's our lips looking straight on. If you have the center part usually like this, this is really exaggerated, but it gives you an idea of what's going on with that top lip there. Same thing down here. So I'm going to like this. Again, it's exaggerated, but we can put this in here. So let's remember, it's shorter on that side and a little bit longer over here. All of these things, you see, these are all center. All of these things, if I keep elongating it on the right side, it will really add to the fact that she's turning from us. There's one lip. And there's the other one. Okay, let's get that bottom lip here. It's coming in at an angle. And then once again, we're going to have it small on this side, but it's going to be a little bit longer on this side. Now, when it comes to teeth, I don't draw teeth. I draw the shadow around the teeth. So if I'm going to add some tone here for teeth, I'm going to darken that up there. And I'm going to come in here just a little bit. And I'm going to get this underneath here. And there we go. We've got some teeth on her. All right, let's get this chin in place. Again, make sure as you are coming around, there is less on this side than over here. Excellent. All right, let's talk about the eyes. Whenever I have, let's just say this is my eyeball here. I always think of this thing as a sphere, and I'm building my eyelid, almost like I was taking a piece of clay and putting it on top. I'm going around, I'm thinking of a piece of clay going around a sphere. If you happen to have a kneaded eraser earlier, when I was in the early stages of my drawing, I would take a kneaded eraser, roll it in a sphere. I would take, and then I'd save some piece, and then turn it into an eyelid, and I'd wrap it on top. So I really would get a sense of this eyelid wrapping around. And the same thing was going to go for our lid that goes underneath. See, I couldn't do this. I couldn't do it if I didn't draw a sphere first. I know a lot of guys do it, a lot of artists do it, but I always get messed up. I need to have that sphere. Now, look at this. Here's her eye, and if you look closely, it's coming up, and oh, stop, and then it has a nice long droop. You see that? So let's do that. Let's get that in here like this. Comes up. Good. All right, let's get this other one now. It's coming up and then drops down. All right, this is going to come in like this. Let's get this. And let's get this one over here. Now I'm going to just add some tone here. Add some tone on this one as well. And then let's look at the top of this eyelid, and you can see it comes like this. And this one is over here. Now she has some mascara on. So let's just take our line here. And thicken it up. Great. All right, let's get these eyebrows in, because I think that will make a difference. And in order to look at to position the eyebrow right, I'm kind of looking at the negative shape in this area here. That's the shape I'm thinking in the back of my mind. So as I'm looking at this, I'm also looking at where this ends. Okay, look at that. It lines up almost with her nose there. Okay, and this other one over here. Excellent. I'm going to just add some tone to these lips here. Add some tone to these eyeballs here. All right, let's get this nose in now. Okay. So there's the center part of the nose. And I'm going to draw this nostril. Fill it in there. And what's going on the other side there? Can't see it. So we're going to have to just put like a little bit of a line there. That will about do it. And as long as I have it in this close, this tight, look at this. Let's get the far left side of her face here set. And this is what I'm looking at. I can see that this is coming around, comes down, cuts it straight. So it's like around, straight, around. It's coming around. Thank you. Round opposite. Then it's a little bit of a straight right by the mouth there, and then comes around like that. So let's get that in. This is the part of the other side of the visor. And I'm also looking very carefully at this negative space. What's the distance between the tip of the nose and the cheek right there? Okay, that's good. And it's coming in straight. And then this is going to come up here. All right. Let's get this ear in. Boy, this jaw looks like it's a long ways back, but I'm going to go with right there. All right, so let's get this ear in here. And most of it's going to be covered, but that's okay. We could still get some detail here. When I'm drawing my ear, especially this one, you're going to start off with the letter C. Then you're going to do the top part there, and you're going to create a little bit of an overlap right there. This by creating that little bit of an overlap, it makes this section of the ear in front of the back section there. Then we're going to come in with the letter Y. And someone's saying like, what did he just do? No, gosh, we'll do it again down here. All right, top of the ear. The letter Y, the Y of the ear comes right in there. And now that I've pointed out to you that everybody has the letter Y in their ear, you will never see anything different. You'll always see that. Okay, let's continue on here. All right, let's get her neck in here. Let's see where we're going here. So we're right about there. And I'm going to come in here. This is coming around. All right, excellent. And one thing in the neck here, sometimes you'll have a tenon that goes from the back of the skull all the way down here to the pit of the neck, and you'll want to remember that. All right, let's get some of this hair in here, because that's what we're here for. So when I'm looking at her hair, first thing I want to do is like think of it as almost like a cap that she's wearing, just a general shape of a mass. I'm not trying to do any hair yet. I'm just trying to get the general shape going here. Okay, this is coming back the other side. Excellent. Now let's think about this hair now. So to me, what I see is this. I see this section here. It's almost like it's coming like this, and it's coming like this. So this is kind of the underside. Do you see that? A lot of times when you're drawing, you're always asking yourself, what's the bigger? Go bigger. What's the bigger shape to the smaller shape? So let's kind of establish that this is coming around here. And I'm going to erase some of this stuff here because it's in my way. All right. All right, let's continue on now. Oops. All right. Let's have some fun with this hair now. So, let's start back here, and I can see that she has this kind of braid that's coming around here. And then she has this little piece, and I'm just trying to think of, when I'm doing this, I'm not trying to think of individual strands, but I'm thinking more of what are the big pieces? What are the big masses? So she has this thing going here. And there's some shadow underneath here. You see this? And we have another piece kind of coming up here like this. We were in the daily draw on Monday. We were drawing roses, and I don't know if it was Chris or somebody said they were getting lost in the rose, and that will happen sometimes, and you just have to that happens all the time actually. So as you are drawing, you have to trying to keep track of where you're at. It takes a fair amount of concentration. You can't just, oh, it's just hair. No, it's like, okay, where is this mask going? And we're gonna do a little something like this. I don't like that. There you go. And then, of course, she has some hair coming down here. And when I'm drawing this, I'm like trying to use my whole arm. Ooh, that looks like a mustache. Can't have that. Sometimes when I'm drawing like long hairs, I'm doing this, and I'm doing a little bit of a taper here. All right, so I think I've got enough little curly cues going on here. And now I'm going to go back into the hair and just give me some dark areas. Just kind of looking for shapes of the shadows going on. I'm going to go over now and start adding a little bit of tone to this. So when I'm adding tone, the first thing I want to think about is where is the dark and where is the light. And so this whole side of her face is going to be in shadow. So I want to make sure if I was drawing this with, if I was using a pencil to do this, I would tone the whole side of that face right there. And we've got some also shadow, some tone in her hair here that I don't want to lose. Tone back here. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. Now let's add some tone to her, some of her makeup here. We've got some tone here. She's got some blush going here. If I squint, look at that. Her lips are definitely darker than her skin. Underside of her nose is going to be a little bit darker. Top part of the eye up here. And I don't know how I did it, but I managed to lose my whites of their eye over here. Okay, that's better. Excellent. All right, let's switch back over to our tone brush. Her nose. Her jaws coming in here like this. And we've talked about this a little bit, where the shadow, where it comes in contact with the white, with the light side, it will oftentimes end up giving us a darker value there. I'm going to go back into my drawing here. I think it is. Is this it? Oh, it is. And just take away some of these lines here. All right. This is going to be in tone. We got tone back here to make her ear pop off there. How can I make my hair not look like a wig? Well, that's a great question. It looks like a wig right now? Yes, it does, you say. You're saying, of course it looks like a wig, because I wouldn't have asked the question. How can you make your hair? Well, I think I would break it up just a little bit into other shapes. You know, like look closely at her. So let's see, she has a little bit of a shadow there. And I probably, Shelby, I would just keep working the detail in it, looking for the sections and trying to get them to read. If you feel free, Shelby, to post your drawing in Facebook, and I'll take a look at it. And I'm going to tone these teeth back just a little bit more. And I'm going to tone her mouth, the dark areas of her mouth back a little bit more. Oop. And she has a nice highlight on her. I'm going to have to erase that a little bit. There he is. But it's still now. I have to go back over. All right. A little bit of tone here. Can I send you the picture on Messenger of mine? Yeah. Sure can. Just coming over here now, we're getting almost at the end here, but she has that mascara underneath there. She has a lot of shadow coming in here of this. All right, I think I am about done here. I would add one more thing too, is, you know, this happens a lot when you are drawing someone's portrait. It takes time for you to get familiar with the person, get familiar with their features and what they look like. So if I'm going to draw someone's portrait, I'm going to draw it multiple times. I'm going to draw it sometimes that are going to be super fast. Sometimes I'm going to draw it so it's I'm going to draw it super slow, but I might do it 2 or 3 times before I actually start drawing it. And I find that the more and more I draw it, the better. Okay, we'll take a look at that. It's the hair on her top left hand side by her forehead that's getting me. Okay, that little, yep. This little doodad here. Yeah, we could take a look at that. So you don't have to put it in all the time either. If it looks kind of weird, then you know you're drawing the picture, so it doesn't. You don't have to put everything you see all the time. Just make sure it looks good. Okay, so I think that about covers it tonight. Any final questions? All right, well, that's it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you picked up a few tips here over the last hour. I will post the actual picture in Photoshop, in Facebook, so you can all see it. And make sure you post your pictures. That would be awesome. Thank you for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Okay, everyone. Good night.